You're listening to the Messengers of Hope Mission podcast with your host, Bob Gardner.
Good morning, one and all, to the Messengers of Hope Mission podcast. Today is October 22nd, and we are having some amazing weather here in Florida. It is in the upper 60s, and just a beautiful day to be out and about, or as we like to do on Friday mornings, we are at our warehouse, and we have lots of volunteers here getting ready for the weekend, and it makes it so nice to have this cooler weather to get the stuff done. Well, without further ado, let's get started. Today's podcast is brought to you by Glistening Glass, Window Washing for Charity. I wash windows and clean gutters in West Pasco and northern Hillsborough County. If you're in that area, you can contact me via Facebook or via this same phone number, 813-404-2300, and I'm happy to give you a free estimate. 20% of every job goes right to Messengers of Hope Mission, and it is also our sponsor today. If you are interested in having your business, church, or club sponsor this podcast, for just $50, you can be the sponsor of the podcast for that week. And again, you can reach out to me on that same phone number, 813-404-2300. Today I want to share a story from the archives of Messengers of Hope Mission. A couple years ago, we were at one of our locations on a Sunday afternoon, and we had a lot of people showing up, a lot of homeless people in line waiting for food, and there was a van that had pulled up and was watching us from a distance. Now, oftentimes we'll get cars that'll pull up and they'll watch us and they want to see what we're doing. Sometimes people will get out, sometimes they'll drive away. I think there's a curiosity about what we're doing handing out food. But this family sat there for a long time. It was a little minivan, and I could tell there were people in the back, and of course there was a driver and someone in the passenger seat as well. I just kept watching, and the passenger seat and the driver kept opening their doors, looking like they were going to get out, and then they would close the doors again. And after a while, they would get out of their van, and they would stand there watching us for a little bit, and they got back into their van again. As the line got smaller and smaller, I made my way over. I wanted to find out what was going on with these people, if they were in need of food or just curious and maybe wanted to volunteer. And after a few minutes, I walked over and I spoke to them, and it turns out it was a husband and wife, and they had children in the van with them, and they were in a position where they needed food. So I invited them over to get food, and of course they did come over to get food. We had MREs that day, and we had some other things. And when they got out of the van, their children got out, and there was children about the age, I would say, about 7, 8, and 14 or 15. And as they walked over, I had something special set aside for any children that showed up that week. I had a bunch of Lunchables in a cooler that I kept in the truck. We did not have enough to give out to everyone, so I wanted to save those just for any children that might have shown up. And of course, here was the perfect opportunity. So the children came up and I said, wait a minute, I've got something special for you. And I went to the truck and I got out two of the Lunchables, one for the little boy and one for the little girl. And I brought them up and they were super excited to get them. And I looked at the teenage boy, who actually turned out to be 14 or 15. I thought he was about 18. So I asked him how old he was. And when he told me, I said, hang on, I got something for you as well. And I walked up and I got him a Lunchable and I brought it back. I handed it to him. His face went deadpan. I didn't know what was going on in his mind, but he looked at me, looked at the Lunchable, and I could see tears welling up in his eyes. And almost in a Hollywood moment, a tear drops from his eyes and hits the Lunchable box. He mumbles the words, thank you, and he turns around and runs back towards the van. Of course, I was a little confused by that, and I think the mother saw it on my face, and she said, let me explain something to you, sir. And then she proceeded to tell me that her husband had lost his job the previous year, and that they were working very hard to try to maintain as much as they could of their stability for their children. And they were at the point where they were losing their house, but the mother was still working. Well, just a few weeks earlier, the mother had lost her job, and they had to move out of their house, and they got a small apartment, a 2-bedroom, one for the parents, one for all 3 children. Well, while the mother was still working, she wanted to maintain as much normality for the kids as she could. And one of the things that the kids liked to do was to bring Lunchables to school. Well, this young man, who was, I believe, 14 years old, every Friday his mother would make sure that he had a Lunchable to take. Every other day he was getting the free meal at school, and he just felt like he had no place to go. He had felt like he was being singled out. Those free school lunch programs are great for families in need, but kids learn very quickly who is on them. And this young man loved Fridays because his mother would get him a Lunchable and he could take that to school and thus hide the fact that he was getting the free lunch program. Well, the mother said that when she lost her job, she had to have a talk with him saying that he couldn't have them on Fridays anymore. He was heartbroken. He was upset. And of course, he lashed out at his mother, and she was heartbroken that she couldn't do this anymore. So she told me that when I handed him that Lunchable, it reminded him of all the good that she had done for him. And she confirmed this by talking to him before she talked to me. Now, this young man, just such a simple thing as getting a Lunchable had changed his day. I hadn't seen that family again for quite a while, but a few months later they showed up to let me know that the husband had gotten a job and they were starting to get back on track, and that her son, sure enough, was getting Lunchables again every Friday. But that one moment of getting a Lunchable from Messengers of Hope Mission just made his day. So I want to share that with you, not to make you feel guilty or not to make you think that there are people out there that are in need. They are in need out there, but to just show you what a single act of kindness can do. That Lunchable is a $2 or $3 item at the grocery store, but it made a huge difference in the life of this young man. He was able to just enjoy being a teenager that day and not think about all the different things, not think about the worry of his parents not working or what people at school were going to think. Just for those few minutes, he was able to enjoy being a young kid again. And that is part of what we at Messengers of Hope want to do. We want to take away the burden of people worrying about how they're going to eat, how they're going to take care of needs. And yes, how a simple thing like a Lunchable can make somebody happy. We don't often get things like Lunchables, but when we do, we love to be able to give them out. Always in need of things like that. We're in need of the little things, little candy bars, little gifts that we can give out to children, things that we can give out to adults that just make them feel like they're not forgotten. Maybe you want to come out and experience this as well. It doesn't happen every week. Some weeks it's just simply the normal work where we give out food, meals, or groceries, and it's just a normal thing that we get to see our friends every week. But every now and then we get a magical moment like this where we really get to not only touch somebody's life, but see how we touch somebody's life. If that's something you want to experience, please join us on Messengers of Hope Mission. We have multiple days during the week that we have these outreaches. We work with different churches, we work with different clubs, and we want to make sure that as many people as possible are getting the food. With that being said, we need food at Messengers of Hope Mission, so if you are able to donate any kind of non-perishable foods or even frozen foods, that is what we are in need of at this moment in time. Please check into that, and we can also provide a donation box for your club, church, or business, and you will be able to put that out there and collect stuff from your patrons and be able to donate that to Messengers of Hope Mission. This week's news and upcoming events: we have our turkey drive starting November 1st. We need about 500 turkeys to cover all the families that we work with. If you donate a turkey with Messengers of Hope, we will give you a special Messengers of Hope t-shirt, which has all of our sponsors on it, and I'll talk more about that in the upcoming weeks. They are at the printer now getting ready, and we are excited to get them. We do this every year. So if you donate a turkey, you will get a t-shirt. We also have many volunteer opportunities at Messengers of Hope. Friday mornings from 9 to 11 is one of our prime times, and we need volunteers. If you have teenagers that need volunteer hours for school, we have plenty of opportunity for that. So be on the lookout for that on our Facebook page, or you can call us at 813-404-2300 to get more information. I want to give a quick update on the school bus. Today is the day that we are moving it from the school bus yard to its location where it will be worked on. The young man who bought it, Jackson, has been working diligently trying to find sponsors and people to help be able to convert this bus into a mobile food pantry for us. We are very excited to get that, and the work is about to begin on it once we get it moved over. So we want to thank Jackson and, of course, his parents and all the Boy Scouts that have helped with this project. This is Jackson's Eagle Scout project, and we are excited about it, and we are very happy and thankful for Jackson, and we look forward to being able to use this bus in the near future. Lastly, I want to talk about the upcoming holiday season. Every year, we do a toy and gift drive for Messengers of Hope Mission to take care of the children of the families that we work with. Every year, we work very hard to get gifts for children of 0 to 18 years of age. It is very difficult for us to get anything for teenagers, so we're always looking for gift cards that can be used in a minimum of $10 increments. And of course, all the gifts that we use, we ask for new unwrapped gifts. If you'd like more information about that, keep a lookout on our Facebook page, and I'll have updates about that shortly. Or you can call us and talk to me about what we need. Every year we work hard, and this year will be no exception. We expect it to be a difficult year on many families, so we hope that many of you will be able to help. If you have a church, club, or business willing to put up a donation box for gifts and toys, please reach out and we will make sure that we get you one. Thank you all for listening today. I want to remind you to subscribe to Messengers of Hope Mission's podcast on whatever podcast platform you are using. Also to share this on your social media and follow us on our social media. We have a Messengers of Hope Mission page on Facebook and one on Instagram as well. And we would love to see more people get on there with that. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm Bob, the CEO and co-founder of Messengers of Hope Mission, and God bless.